as Pamela may have shared, we partnered with the Department of Ed last year, and they purchased access to our 2 platforms, Define Learning and Define Careers, for all of the public schools in the state. So everybody has access through, at least through the next school year. So for about a little over a year now, and hopefully there will be a 3rd year added on to that. But so, I don't know, Pamela, have you shared any information with the group about, what Define Learning is, or do you want me to just kind of start from scratch?
Very basic information. And to be honest with you, I have very basic information because it's out last week. So please start from scratch.
Yeah, that's fine. So, I know we're kind of limited on time here, so I'll just jump right in. I'll do a quick overview. I'm going to share my screen of what's available to you guys and to all the districts. But essentially we have 2 platforms really centered around project-based learning. So our Define Learning platform has been around for about 12 years now. And ultimately what we provide is a whole library of performance tasks and literacy tasks where students are put in the role of a career and they're asked to solve a problem. And so all of these project-based learning units are really tied to the academic standards and really help the students make the connection of what they're learning in the classroom and how they would apply that in the real world, and really exposing them to different careers all along the way. So this is very much a teacher-driven, teacher-led platform. So we're looking at it from the teacher side. So when teachers log in, in order to search for content, there's a couple ways where they can get started. So they can start by choosing a subject here. So you'll see if I click on any of these subjects, it's going to pull up some additional topics down below, and then you can select your grade band. So the Define Learning platform is available for grades pre-K through 12, as you'll see noted here. Teachers can also search by standards as well. So we do have these tied to the Connecticut standards. So you can also come in here and as another search option. I'm going to go back to my home screen though, and just click on a science task for grade 6 to 8, just kind of middle of the road, and show you what that process looks like. So these are going to be all of our science tasks for grades 6, 7, and 8, just as an example. You'll see these are listed in alphabetical order, and that the title of these is the career that we're highlighting. So if I hover my mouse over any of these, you'll see a list of matching products. These are essentially going to be those science project choices for the student. So I'm just going to go into this aquarium designer task for grade 8. Regardless of what the task is or the career that we're highlighting, the students go through the same process. So you'll see there's green arrows up at the top. Those are the 4 steps the teacher works through. But down below in blue, these are the 5 steps that the student is going to work through. So we start out by introducing the career. So they're taking on the role of an aquarium designer, and their goal is to really design an aquarium that is innovative and cost effective. So we'll provide just, general information about introduction to the career that we're highlighting. There's going to be a career video as well. These are just a couple of minutes long. And, really this video kind of goes into, we're interviewing real people in their jobs. They're talking about the process of designing an aquarium and everything that goes into that, all of the math and science concepts that they use. So again, the students will start seeing, okay, this is why I'm learning how to do this in math or in science. And this is where I can actually use that outside of the classroom. We do have some check-in questions all along the way. So really just great touch points for the student and for the teacher to get an understanding of their progress and understanding as they're working through it. And then we go into step 2, exploring the background. So we have the big ideas, the essential questions at the top. And then this GRASP template here, that stands for goal, role, audience, situation, and then the P is those project or product choices. So, this can all be modified, edited, and customized as much or as little as the teacher would like. Sometimes teachers will modify this to make it more relevant to their community in some way, but it's really just going to kind of go into, how the student is taking on the role of an aquarium designer. They're working for an interior design team. They've just graduated from a college with a degree in interior design, and they're going to be designing an aquarium that's really innovative and cost effective and presenting that to an interior design firm. So that's kind of setting the stage for them. Going back up here, you'll notice these product choices here. So these are essentially the projects that the students can complete. The goal is not to do all of them. You know, the teacher would ultimately pick and choose whichever one is going to really tie to whatever their learning outcomes are going to be. So you'll see there's an option to do anything from an oral presentation all the way down to a photo story or PowerPoint. Within each one of these, there's going to be a product video really just explaining what it is the student is being asked to create or asked to do. In this case, we're looking at the cost analysis. There's also a rubric that's available as well. We do have the standards that are being met with that. So you'll see, you know, there's some math concepts for this, the cost analysis, there is some science, ELA is really embedded all throughout. And then we do have some research questions and anchors here, which are just exemplars. And then again, a check-in question here. And then we do provide some research resources for them. So, you know, these learning objects are a great way for them to just get a refresher on any of those concepts that they're going to need to know as an aquarium designer. So, you know, if they need a refresher on linear equations or stability and change, these are a great way for them to just kind of activate that prior knowledge. We do have additional videos here and some more research resources, just websites, journals, periodicals that are available. And again, when the teacher is customizing this, they can hide any of the resources we've provided. They can add any of their own and even just write out some additional instruction for their students. And then the last, or step 4, is going to take them through the engineering design process. So they're going to watch this video and it's really just going to kind of talk through those next steps for them to brainstorm their ideas, analyze and decide, and then ultimately create and revise their work. The students are given a login to Define Learning, so they'll be able to see, you know, which projects that they've been assigned. They can also submit their work right back through our platform. And if they do choose to do that, they don't have to do everything through Define Learning, but if they do, there is a portfolio that gets created for each student, and I'll show you what that looks like. And this is really designed to follow them year over year, really tracking all the different projects that they've done. This career wheel down below, when that loads, is going to show all the different careers that they've been exposed to. So, you know, I know some districts have that as a priority. So you can use this to really see, you know, what careers have they exposed to or which ones have they not yet been exposed to. And then you'll be able to track their progress and how they're doing with the different skills and competencies that they're being assessed on. And you'll see the standards down below. So that's the student portfolio. You know, there is a lot more functionality to this that I won't go into just for the sake of time, but in terms of just getting teachers and districts onboarded, you know, we could do some introductory webinar training and really kind of dive into all of that. We do have some getting started videos in the bottom right here, which are also a great resource. And then the PD Center up at the top also has a lot of great information, just, you know, about navigating the site and all of that stuff. But Carly and I are available as resources for them. So are there any questions about the Define Learning platform? Anything you'd like me to go back to?
I have a quick question. I know that you're saying the state signed up for this, and so it would be free for a year.
It's for the rest of this school year and the next school year for now. And I know they're talking about adding a third year. So hopefully it'll be good through the 2024 school year. But yes, it's free. There's no cost. Everybody or anybody, everyone already has access to this. So, you know, we're eager to get, you know, as many districts up and running as we can. And I know that some are also looking at this for summer school too. So just as another option.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Well, any other questions about the Define Learning platform before I jump over to Define Careers?
So I'm a business teacher and I have a quick question.
Yep.
Wondering, obviously business isn't up there, or technology or STEM in isolation. So given that, how would we structure it to look at careers and then look at the other?
Yeah, so the Defined Careers platform, which I'm also going to share, is really focused on the career pathways and the career clusters.
Okay.
So I think this would be a better solution. So there's two platforms that's available. So Defined Careers, which I'll show you, is really more student driven and student led. So we'll take a look at it from the student side, but this platform is really going to expose the students to the career clusters and the career pathways and allow them to really experience those careers through project-based learning. So when the students first log in, they are prompted to take our career assessment. We know that a lot of districts do have an assessment already in place, so they can bypass what we have. But if they do go through it, it takes about 20 minutes. It measures these three areas. So their study preferences, interests, and work values. And then we'll provide them with some recommended career pathways to start exploring. So I took that assessment. These are my recommended pathways here. But I'm going to go back to the dashboard and just kind of walk you through a course real quick. And then we can go in and I'll show you where all those different pathways are, where you can look for all of the content. But I'll go in just as an example. I'll click on commercial and industrial designers here. So down below, there are 5 lessons that the student is going to work through. The first 2 are very informational. The first one's really going to be around the career cluster. So in this case, it's going to be arts, audio, visual, audio, video, technology, and communications, really educating them about that career cluster. The second one is going to really be, again, a video that they watch, but now honing in on that pathway. It's going to talk about different jobs within that pathway, the future outlook of jobs. So again, really just information gathering for the students. And where they really spend a bulk of their time is in lesson 3, where they get that hands-on experience with the career. So this one, again, is commercial and industrial designers. The student is going to go through this kind of slideshow format here. We're going to go into that GRASS model like we saw with Defined Learning. I'm going to share my sound. I'm going to play this video for you. It's only about 1.5 minutes just so you can see what these look like.
As an industrial designer, your goal is to provide easy to understand information about the new or improved tent design and how it works. What's your role? You are an industrial designer for Dick's Sporting Goods. Your role is to develop and improve concepts for everyday outdoor products. As for your audience will be potential customers looking for outdoor equipment such as tents. So here's the situation. Approximately 40 million people go camping in the US each year. Because outdoor activities such as camping provide more opportunities for social distancing, it became enticing during the COVID-19 pandemic, even for those who wouldn't typically take a camping vacation. During the pandemic, this resulted in a shortage of outdoor products such as kayaks, tents, and camping equipment. Dick's Sporting Goods is looking to hire you as an industrial designer to produce the most innovative ideas for outdoor equipment. You are going to specifically focus on tents. They are going to rely on you to make all designs with the buyer's needs in mind. The tents you will be designing can be a brand new idea, or it can enhance an existing tent product to make it more appealing to consumers. You should think about the function, appearance, production costs, and usability of the tents when developing new ideas.
So that's what that GRASS video looks like again. So, really kind of explaining what the student is going to be asked to do. We provide some industry vocabulary here, some research resources, and then the students are asked to either create a sketch or a prototype of their tent. We'll provide some basic guidance here with either one of those product choices. They'll go through that design process video, and then they're going to create their product. So down below, you can see, since we're looking at it from the student side, they can easily upload their work here. We do provide a rubric to support them. And then down below that, we've got, some check-in questions all along the way. And another really neat step in this process is for them to take a deep dive into the career. So really get a well-rounded look at that career pathway. So we have a video here that they can watch, and that's really going to highlight the different job titles within that pathway, different skill sets that they are going to need, and things they would generally be doing in that role. And then we do provide some base, average salary information, and then an opportunity for them to look at different colleges and universities should they want to pursue that pathway. So Carly and I are in the Chicago area, so you'll see it's pulling up schools that are more local to us, but ultimately you can search throughout the country, narrow it down by state, by size, or the type of school. And then there is an option here for them to create a personal budget. So I know this is just a great way to, build on some of those financial literacy skills. There's a link to a spreadsheet down below. And really it just has the students start thinking in terms of, what their potential salary would be in this role and how that comes into play with taxes, utilities, rent, all of that stuff. So that is an option here. And then the last step, lesson 5, is just a survey. So we have them, again, really kind of reflect on that career that they went through and just a couple questions for them to answer. So that's how the process of the career course is structured. It takes about 5 to 7 hours to go through, same with defined learning too. So that's really kind of the timeline. But ultimately the students have access to all of the content that we provide. So that's where it differs a little bit with defined learning. So going into this courses tab, I'm going to scroll down and you'll see this filters button. This is where you'll find all the career clusters and then the pathways within that cluster. So, Jodine, I know you had asked about, hang on, sorry, just get this out of the way. I think business administration was one. So if I click on that career cluster, you can certainly narrow it down and look at the pathway, but these are going to be all the career courses available that fall under business administration. And so, there's a wide variety of options. We do have content for everybody. These don't have to be careers for students that are looking to go on to college. We have a lot of courses, in the trades and manufacturing as well. And that, interest survey or that assessment is really going to highlight that for the student and kind of point out, where their interests lie and what pathways they might want to pursue. So, are there any questions, anything you want us to go back to? There is also a portfolio in this platform as well, and it really, kind of tracks all the careers that the student has worked through, all the projects that they've done. And then we can also modify and really kind of customize this portfolio. If districts have a profile of a graduate or a portrait of a graduate, we can customize this piece as well. So this is just an example of what we've done with some other school districts. So Broken Arrow in Oklahoma, as an example, they provided us with kind of their indicators and their goals that we plugged in here. So that's just another option to consider. But, these platforms both serve a different purpose, but they complement each other very well. And these are both available at no charge for all the districts in Connecticut. So.
Thank you,
And
Lisa.
how do we roster our students in? Can we do it through Clever, or do they have their own login?
They do. We can roster through Clever. We also work with Google and ClassLink too. So, depending on what the district is and how they're set up, we can get that done. And that's kind of where Carly's role comes in as well. And, we can, depending on the district, get all of that set up with whatever they use.
Yeah. I imagine the districts you work with all do it different ways. So whatever they do, we would get them set up and make sure that they're up and running with that.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
Do you have demo account, or how can we get a demo account or take a look at it?
Yes, I can send over a demo account to you. Pam, would that be the best place to start? And you can share it with everyone since I don't have anyone's email. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, we'll send over a demo for both platforms so you can take a look. But then, in terms of just getting individual districts set up, let us know, and we're happy to kind of hop on an implementation call and talk about what those next steps are going to be. I know I mentioned just in terms of onboarding, we can do some free webinar training to get teachers up and running and comfortable navigating the site. And we do provide some more in-depth professional development options as well that are not a part of the license, but something that can be kind of more purchased a la carte. So, if you feel like that would be helpful just for the onboarding process, we do have a lot of great options available too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else for us?
Yeah, Lisa, I'm really interested in looking more into this. I have a committee that I'd like to have you show.
Okay.
So we can maybe get our district onboarded if you have time.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah, I'd
time for
love
that? So can you just shoot me an email or shoot me your email address so I
Yeah.
can we can kind of set up a time to
Yes.
chat?
Yeah, we'd love to. And I'm sorry, what's your first name?
Jill?
Jill. Okay. And Jill, do you want to give me your email and I'll send you a note when we hang up?
Perfect. It's JCURIOSO
Okay.
at Griswold, GRISWOLD, public schools, plural, .org.
Okay.
And what I will do is when I send out our newsletter tomorrow, I will also share Lisa and Carly's email addresses and that
Great.
demo account as well.
Wonderful.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great, perfect.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Wonderful. And so all of you are at work with different school districts, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's great. Well, Jill, I will send you that information. You have my email, and then Pam, I'll send that login info. So share that. Please reach out with questions. And if any of you want to set up individual calls, we can just talk about those next steps and answer any questions as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
Take care.
Thank
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. I will talk to you. We'll see you next month. And Jill, I will reach out to you about setting up our April visit.
All right.
Thanks.
everybody.
Good to
Thank
see
you
everybody.
so
Take
much.
care. Bye-bye.